We are back here with a crazy story. China's most famous tech tycoon seems to have just disappeared. The billionaire and founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma, has not made any public appearances in more than 2 months now, after he made a comment alluding to the need to reform China's financial system. His brainchild, the Ant Financial Group's initial public offering, has since been called off by Beijing. So here to discuss this is Adam Lashinsky, Business Insider columnist. Adam, also a Fox Business contributor. I know you've interviewed Jack Ma, right, a couple of times.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on this story?
Well, it's one of those unfortunate reminders that doing business in China is different from doing business in other places. And even somebody as prominent as Jack Ma answers to the state at some point. And especially if, like him, you become very big and very powerful. Even before this strange and perhaps really unfortunate occurrence, Connell, we don't know what it is. There were signs that his wings had been clipped. A few years ago, he sort of suddenly announced that he was going to step down from his job as CEO and chairman of Alibaba, and the feeling, the whispers then were that he had become too powerful in Xi Jinping's China.
And that's the key, Xi Jinping's China, because over the last number of years, 30, 40 years, then individuals through this system that China have become extremely wealthy. Jack Ma is probably the best known of them, but there are other examples. And the question now is whether that can continue. As you say, we don't know exactly what happened to Jack Ma, but just broadly speaking, can someone who becomes, again, extraordinarily wealthy, essentially by taking advantage of global capitalism, succeed or exist in Xi Jinping's China going forward?
It's roughly analogous to what has happened in Vladimir Putin's Russia. There were all these billionaire oligarchs who were allowed to make their money and to become fabulously powerful so long as they always understood who the real power was. And I think that wasn't the case in China before Xi Jinping during the previous 30-some years of the miraculous rise of the capitalist, the market-driven economy in China. So I think if you want to analogize it to Putin's Russia, you can be a billionaire, you can make a lot of money, you can have villas around the world, but you can't ever challenge not just Xi Jinping, but the Communist Party or the state. There were signs that Jack Ma had done this, and now we're seeing what we're seeing.
There's one big difference between China and Russia. Well, there are a lot of big differences, but in terms of economics, there are not many American businesses that make a lot of money, relatively speaking, in Russia. There are a ton of American businesses and business people who make a lot of money in China. Does all of this have any implications, do you think, for those people, the Tim Cooks of the world?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're asking exactly the right question. I mean, there's a narrow way and a broad way to look at this. The narrow way would be that this is about Jack Ma and Alibaba and Ant, and that's it, right? We haven't seen these similar bold moves against some of the other giant Chinese internet companies. The broad way of looking at it is that this is just the beginning. It's a reminder to Western businesses that you can play in China, but you better, two things, you better be darn sure you know what the rules are, and by the way, the rules might change once you're sure that you knew what the rules were. I think it's important to China that Western businesses continue to operate there, but it's even more important to the Communist Party that they operate there under their rules.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about it there in a kind of a broader context, and I'm glad you did, Adam, because we don't know what happened or if anything happened to Jack Ma, but we do know this is a kind of illustrates another important story. So thanks a lot, Adam. We'll talk to you soon. We'll keep following the story, whatever happens next with it. Adam Lashinsky there.